Hi guys, welcome to this week's video. If you're new here, my name is Shay and I thought I would take you guys along with me as I do a little bit of secondhand shopping. So if you've followed along with some of my videos, you know I have been trying to fill up my library. There's been a lot of bookish content lately, so if you're not fully into that, I promise this entire video it's not just going to be about books, but it is going to be heavily influenced with book shopping. Otherwise, I am going to check out Big W and Kmart and maybe some other stores and op shops, definitely, not just for books though. But I'm trying to find some things that aren't necessary, but more decorative for the house. And I want to try and find as much of it as I can secondhand. So today it's really dark in here. I've tried to find a spot where there's a little bit of light, but the weather is giving winter. I don't know if that's even going to come up, but it is raining and cold. But I'm going to check out a bookshop today. The lights just disappeared. I do want to fill up, this is my unread side of my bookshelf, which is getting quite full. I've just turned everything so the spines are out because that is how I do want to keep everything looking when it's full. But yeah, so the collection's coming along really good. So I wanted to check, there's a Rotary sale, a local charity. They have a massive amount of books and they only open every Saturday, I think, or they do a big sale every first Saturday of the month. It's not the first of the month, so I don't know if the sale is just a regular day or anything for anything specific. So I'm going to check that out now. Alright guys, so I'm back from my little Rotary trip. I did pick up, sorry there's fluff everywhere. I did pick up quite a few books there. They were all $1 each, so I didn't get too many clips while I was there just because it was sort of hard to film without filming other people there. But they have like rows and rows and rows of books. It's like they've got more books than the library, I think. And I think they actually get predominantly most of their books from the library because they all have like the little library stickers and things on them. So that is something that I'm not a huge fan of, but the books are so cheap there. They're basically $1 each. Anything that doesn't have a price on it is $1, and then they price up a couple of like their newer books, so around $2 to $3 for most of the books. And then they do have like a section that's like right at the back of their little hall that is for like collectibles and things like that. So the books out there are a little bit more expensive, but essentially it's $1 a book. So I did pick up a few, and there's only a couple in this haul, which is really bad, but I'm not even mad about it, that I haven't actually read. So I did pick up a few that I do love the authors of, because I figured for $1 I will add them to my physical collection. And so I'll just run through them quickly. I won't go through too much about what the books are about, just because this might end up a really long video, and if you're not interested in the book portion of this video, it will pretty much just bore you. So anyway, the first few books that I picked up are from Nalini Singh, her Guild Hunter series. So if you're into paranormal romance, this one is a fantastic series and you will love Nalini Singh's writing. But I grabbed 3 of her books. So they had Angel's Blood, which is the first one, and this is what I mean by like the library things. So it's got like all the library tags on them. And then I grabbed Archangel's Blade, which I think is like the 4th book, and then Archangel's Legion. It is quite a long series and it's still going on, and I think this is book like number 6 or something random down the track, maybe 10 even. So I grabbed those 3. That is all they had of that series with this particular author. They had other books from her other series, but I thought maybe I'll just start with one series to collect because I don't have much hope of finding the rest of them, I don't think, but you never know. And then the next 3 books I got from there I haven't read before, and There's only one that I ever heard of, but I did grab a random couple of romances. The first one is by Annie Darling. It's called True Love at the Lonely Hearts Bookshop. This one is essentially about a Jane Austen fangirl who works in a bookshop and is looking for true love, or not looking for it by the sounds of the back. But yeah, I just thought that would be a cute little afternoon read. Maybe not in just one afternoon, but yeah. Something like today is perfect for a read because it's freezing cold outside and wet and raining. But yeah, so this is the one that I grabbed as well. This next one is not the first in a series, I don't believe, but I'm hoping it's interconnected standalones. It's called The Accidental Human by Dakota Cassidy. I haven't actually heard of this author, but yeah, another one that sort of looks really paranormal romance coded. It literally says paranormal romance on the back, so yeah. I think she's a human and then she falls in love with her friends, like friends to lovers sort of situation. Yeah. That one looks really cute. And then the next one, I have seen this one around, but I'm not sure what it's about, but it looked really, really good. And I thought for $1, I'm going to grab it. It's called Bloodguard by, I think, C.C. Robson. I'm probably pronouncing some of these authors wrong, so sorry about that if that triggers you. But yeah, Bloodguard is this one. I think it's first in a series because it's got a 1 on the spine. I don't know if you can even see that with the reflection. But I've not heard of a second book, and Goodreads didn't have anything done as a second book, so maybe this is relatively new and there is no second book, or she just didn't write, or he didn't write a second book. So this was published in 2024, so it's pretty new actually. So yeah, I was happy to get that one. That was the first book I actually picked up, so it kind of went up from there. And then the last two that I grabbed from the Rotary Club was Sherilyn Kenyon's 2 books from her League series. So I have the first 3 books, which I'd bought as like a mass paper book when they first come out. And these ones are completely different size and book style to the ones that I have, but never mind. There's like, I think maybe 10 books in that series as well. So these are not in any particular order, but I have Born of Defiance and Born of Fury. So I absolutely love this series as well. If you like getting your feelings hurt, read the content warnings for sure on this one. But yeah, I love this series. So I'm very happy to have these in my collection. And then that was essentially everything that I got from the Rotary Club. And then on my way home, I stopped at 2 separate op shops. The first one I stopped at was a Vinnie's, which is sort of on the way home. And it is the only place where I bought something that wasn't a book. I did buy books while I was there too though. But I bought myself an oversized flanny shirt. Like, do I need another one? No, but I couldn't pass this one up. It was just, I love the pattern and the color. Like black and white is just so easy to like, I don't know, wear. And then it is a 6XL, so it's not even oversized, it's literally just large. But it costs $7 and it's so soft. I love a soft and worn in flanny. So that is what I grabbed there. The 2 books that I grabbed actually worked out kind of good. Is I found another Nalini Singh Guild Hunter book. This is number 2, Archangel's Kiss. So that is nice. I can add that to the collection of trying to get that series. And then one that I'd never heard of before, but the cover actually really pulled me in. I got this one for $2, by the way. And then this other book was $3. It's called The Sacrifice by Rin Chapiko. Again, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. So it looks so cute. Like, how cool is that cover? So this author has also written The Girl from the Well. I'm not a huge horror thriller reader, despite I actually got a couple horror thrillers in this haul. But yeah, this one just sounded really good. It's basically on one of the islands of the Philippines. A local is sort of like coerced or convinced to take a Hollywood film crew onto this cursed island, and there's a dreamer god or something, as legends claim, who demands sacrifices. So 7 sacrifices for, I don't know, someone to have glory or for that god to wake up or something. I don't know, but it sounded really, really good, and the cover was just stunning. So I grabbed that one. And then I also stopped in at a Uniting. They had a 20% off entire store sale, which I didn't know at the time. I just got to the counter and everything was super cheap. So I got 3 books there. Originally they were 50 cents each, so I ended up only paying like $1.80 or $1.20, sorry, $1.20 for all these books. The first one I got is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. So I haven't watched the TV series yet because I thought it would be much more fun to read the book first. But it wasn't a book that was like, I wanted to read it, but it wasn't rushing out to sort of get it to add to the collection. Because as you can see behind me, there's all the unread books and there's still a shelf up that you can't even see. So yeah, I got this one for less than 50 cents. So yeah, happy to have that in the collection. And then the next one I got, I'm hoping the sticker comes off, but it's P.D. James' Death Comes to Pemberley. So if you're a Jane Austen fan, yeah, Pemberley is basically where Darcy lives, Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. So this is about Lydia Wickham coming to Darcy and Elizabeth saying that her husband's been murdered, and then it's sort of like a thriller murder mystery set in Jane Austen world, I guess. So sounded really intriguing. I've seen it around a few times and just haven't picked it up, but I figured for less than 50 cents, it was coming home with me. And then the last book is definitely, again, not something that I would normally have picked up, but it was 50 cents originally, and then even less again. But it is a thriller, potentially a horror thriller. I'm not sure, but essentially it follows 3 women who are like complete strangers to each other, but there's this particular man that's essentially decided he's gonna hunt them down and kill them. So it sounds really terrifying. It's called Beneath the Skin by Nikki French. But yeah, essentially it's a story of the powerlessness of a victim and finding the strength to fight back. So I thought it sounded really, really intriguing, and for less than 50 cents, why not? And the writing is actually quite big in it, so I have a feeling it would be a quick and easy read if it's interesting. So yeah, that is what I've got so far. I do still want to stop at Big W. There's a couple of books that I've had my eye on that are on sale there at the moment. I'm not sure if my store will have them in stock, but we will see when I head there later. The first one that I really want to get is Apprentice to the Villain. So I have Assistant to the Villain, and I haven't seen Apprentice to the Villain anywhere. Like, I think I originally got Assistant to the Villain at not Big W, at Kmart. And they just, not that I ever saw at my store, get the second one in. And then the third one's due to come out soon if it hasn't already come out soon. So I really want to get Apprentice to the Villain. And there's a couple of romances there that I've got my eye on, which may be on sale. So it'll depend on if they're in stock in the store. If not, I'm not sure if I'm going to do an online order because, again, I don't know if it's worth it because like I said, I've got so many books there, but yeah, it's something that I will keep my eye on anyway. So I will check back in when I'm finished at Big W and see if I get anything then. So I'm back. It is much later. It's literally nighttime now. I only ended up getting one book at Big W. I wanted Apprentice to the Villain, but it was sold out online and it sold out in store. And I was a complete idiot in Big W. One thing I can't stand about Big W is they don't put prices on all their books. Like some, like their top 10, I think, they have books, prices on their books and some of their displays, but just in general on the shelves, there is none. So I was using the app to try and check what the prices were. The app wasn't working half the time anyway because it's useless. But I didn't realize until I got to the checkout that the books that were on sale only online. So ironic considering I'm buying books and I can't even read, but the lady that was there was really good. I ended up only picking up one book. I had 4 that I was carrying around, and then I'm like, nah, I think I'll just grab the one because there was only 2 of this book on the shelf. So I'm like, obviously, I don't know if they're on sale to clear them out or if it's just a random sale. So the prices may go up on these books. but I will keep an eye out on the app and maybe buy them online at some point. But yeah, I got to the checkout and it was scanning as $14, but every time I checked on the app, it was telling me it was the online price. So I was reinforcing that it was like the $7, and it was not $7. But the lady there was really, really good at the checkout, because she saw that there was only 2 in stock for the store. She's like, we're not going to sell them in the store with those last 2 if you can buy them online for half price. So she put the price as the half price, as the $7 for me. So it was really good. So in the end, all I grabbed was Erin Connor's Unromance. I don't know if it's going to show up great because I've got the light and it's a very shiny cover, which also made it really hard to scan the barcode, because even the lady couldn't get it to scan. She's like, it's not scanning on her little machine to check the price. It was only because I pulled up the app where it made me look like an idiot, telling me that it's an online only special. But anyway, I got it. I got this book. It's just a romance novel. Yeah, so that is on the pile of collection that I need to start putting back into all of my shelves. So that's it for today. I will check back in next time I am going anywhere. I want to check out Kmart, but I really just wasn't in the mood to go today. And I'm not sure if I'll go shopping tomorrow, but if I do, I'll check back in. Otherwise, I will see you probably in a few days' time, and it'll be a few seconds for you guys. Hi guys, so I'm just checking in from my little adventures this morning, which you saw some clips of. I have had a wildly successful morning this morning, so super excited to show you everything that I got. Most of it is books, but there are some things that aren't books. Also, if you can hear my washing machine going in the background, I'm sorry, but I just needed to get some laundry done today. So I'm going to jump straight into the haul. I didn't buy anything at Kmart because I did have a look through Kmart this morning just to see, there's some things that I do want to buy, just to see what was available there. But I started at a little church op shop. That place is packed. You can't tell from the outside, but inside it is wall to wall. And I don't know what it is with clothing that makes me feel claustrophobic when it's that like closed in, but the book section, I don't know, when it's that cramped and full, I just love it. But they had basically all their books were $1 unless marked. So I bought 3 books there. They ended up being 50 cents each. So I only bought one that I haven't read before. But the first one I got was Sherlyn Kenyon's Born of Vengeance. So sorry, the cover's going to be super shiny because it's very dark, even though it's quite sunny outside. So 50 cents for this one. This one is a part of the collection that I was talking about starting to find books for at the start of the video. So this one is a hardback though. The others are also like a paperback, but yep. So I got this one to go with that collection. So that's the first thing I got. And then the second one is Archangel's Heart, which is again, obviously 50 cents again, which is also part of one of the collections that I started looking for in the start of this video as well. So what I've done, because normally I put all the books that I get on a Goodreads shelf or like list shelf to say that I've got it, so that if I'm ever unsure if I've already got a book, I can check that, and that way I'm not doubling up. So for these 2 collections, I've just put in my notes a list of all the books in that particular series, and I've just started checking them off as I find them. So that is the second book I got. And then the third one I got was also 50 cents, called The Taker by Alma Katsu. It's an immortal love story. I've never heard of this one before, but I think it's a little less like fantasy romance or paranormal romance, and still sort of like supernatural, but a little bit outside of that genre. I think one of the characters is maybe immortal, but yeah, I don't think it's completely like fantasy sci-fi sort of thing. But yeah, so I got that one just because it sounded interesting and it was 50 cents. Next up, one of the things, or a couple of the things I'm always looking for when I go to the op shops is leather jackets, preferably real leather if I can find it. Boots, like knee-high boots, preferably flat if I can find them. I have a couple of Kmart boots that are knee-high that I absolutely love, but there's something about Kmart boots or shoes in general that I think just run a size smaller or half a size smaller. So the two that I have from there, they really crush my feet if I'm wearing them for too long. So always keep an eye out for boots. Jumpers, like anything that's sort of like this, oversized, whether it's plain or branded, doesn't really matter, as long as it's like a decently thick hoodie. I always look for, even a crew neck, things like that. So I did manage to find, with some books, some boots today. So I found some boots for $8. They're a size bigger for me, but I thought that might be better. They're a little bit scuffed, but nothing too serious, but they're also Diana Ferrari. So I did have a quick Google and they're fairly decent price, provided these are legitimate boots. I don't know. So it didn't have a size, but I tried one on, but the bottoms look like they've barely been worn. I don't know if you can tell. But yes, I just peeled the sticker with the price tag off. But yeah, $8. They look like they've just come straight out of the box. So here, $8. And even the lady at the thing said, wow, these are a good pair of shoes. And I'm like, yes, they are. So I was pretty happy with those when I saw them. So that's cool. I've got those. And then I managed to get 2 books as well, and they had a 50% off sale for their books. So the first one I got was originally $4, down to $2, is called Tonight I Burn by Catherine J. Adams. I don't know if this is a YA or not, but it's definitely like a fantasy romance. It is part of a trilogy, it does say. So I might have to look and see what the next ones are called, if they're out, because this book seems like it's relatively new. So I got that one. It ended up being $2 with the sale. And then I managed to find Neon Gods by Katie Roberts. I don't know if this is a traditionally published book or not, version of this book, but it doesn't seem like it is. But anyway, I have the 3rd book in this series and now I have the 1st. So I can actually start from the top. This was $4 originally, down to $2 as well. And then I went to a few just random op shops that I usually go to. And these I bought over 3 different op shops, but I managed to find a faux leather. So I don't know what you would call it, pleather jacket. It is a size 16. I tried it on over the top of my hoodie, so it fits comfortably over the hoodie, which is really cool. I ended up only paying $7 for this one at Vinnie's. So I was super happy with the price. The quality looks fine. There's no, like, it smells a bit like someone's perfume and like the fake leather. So I will just have to air it out, I think. But once I start wearing it, it'll start smelling like me over someone else. But it's not a bad smell. It's not like it smells like BO or anything like that. But yeah, I was super happy with that. And the fact that I can fit it on over my hoodie is even better, because then I can layer it up in the winter. And for $7, I was so shocked. I was expecting it to be like $17, even though it's not real leather. So for some reason, like even the fake leather products, they price up really high. So that is really cool. It's sort of in the design I'm looking for, but I still do want to keep an eye out for like the moto style leather jackets as well, or faux leather if that's what I find. And then I managed to find 4 other books. So at one op shop I managed to find From Lukov with Love from Mariana Zapata. This one I ended up paying $4 for. And would you believe I went to another op shop because I was so excited to find this one because this is relatively new. It's in fantastic condition, but I managed to find it at a different op shop for $2. But I was so excited to find this. This has been on my list to buy, so I'm not going to be complaining too loudly. For $4, it's still a pretty decent bargain, and it looks brand new. So yeah, very happy with that. And then at a different op shop, I really lucked out with some of the books today. I did buy the Penguin Classics of Jane Austen's Emma. This one was $2 when I bought it. This one, it wasn't particularly on my radar to buy, but I do love Emma, the story, the movie adaptation. So I thought for $2 it would be cute to have this in my collection in case I do actually want to read Jane Austen. And then at the same op shop, I found Flawless by Elsie Silver. Again, in really good condition. It was only $2 as well. So I was pretty happy to find that because I haven't read anything from Elsie Silver, but I know it's quite a beloved series. So I was happy to find that. So with the books that I got today, I'm pretty surprised at how new, or relatively new, some of them are and the condition they're in. So super happy with that. And then the last one I found, I haven't heard of this author before, but the book looks brand new. It's called To Love Jason Thorne by Ella Mays. I paid $2 for that one, and it's just a contemporary romance. On the back it has another title from this particular author called To Hate Adam Connor. So yeah, it was a cute little cover. I do like the cartoon covers on like the contemporary romances. Again, it looks brand new. The spine isn't even broken. So I thought that might be a cute, easy read to add to the collection. So that is everything that I found today. I did actually go to, as you may have saw, I don't know if let me start that sentence again because it just did not want to work. I also looked at Amart, which is the furniture store, to see if I could find a cute little reading chair because they have 50% off their certain products in their lounges. And I did find one chair that I was I think it was like $700. It was in a light grey, but as long as it's sort of like in a greyish or grey black sort of colour tone, I think it'll fit okay in the house. That was really comfortable. One that I did want to try, which was one of the round ones that's on the swivel, it wasn't as comfortable, so I'm glad I managed to go and find that in store so I could try it out before I like commit to buying anything. I'm definitely not in any rush to buy a lounge chair or anything for this room at this stage, but it is definitely something on my radar, and with 50% off now would be a good time to buy because I'm having trouble finding anything secondhand that's not going to cost me so much more to reupholster. And then I also found a 2-seater sort of love chair, which was so comfortable, was in a really nice dark blue, which I'm like, I could get behind that color. And I thought maybe it would go great like under the window. I don't know if that'll look weird because my windows do come all the way down to about this far off the floor, but it's definitely an option because then I could have it under the window all the way along the back rather than just in one particular corner. So that was food for thought, and that one was the same price as the chair essentially. So yeah, I was going to measure because I didn't think it would fit in the space, but having a look at it now, I definitely think it would fit, and I think it would actually look really cool. So that's something I'm also going to keep an eye out for, but yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any more shopping. We shall see. But yeah. What I am going to do now though is put these books that I got today into my Goodreads and then put the books overall that I bought, because I've just got them all piled up next to me on the shelves. So let's do that now, and that may be the end of the video. We shall see. All right, so I have laid out all the ones going on the TBR side in alphabetical order ish. So we're going to make some space for all of these. There's a lot up to G. So this is G up to here. So I've kept all the prices on everything too. So I don't know, it's just like a little trophy sticker. So Adams is going to come up in here. I'm loving how big the collection is. So I'll have to do a tally of how many books I have now, because I'm not sure how many I've got.
I could look at you all night, toes in the sand, eyes shining in the moonlight. It might be the first time we're all alone and it feels right. Now I got you moving. Ooh, ooh, you got that sway. Hey, hey, you got me laughing.
So then I just have the ones to go on this side, which is all my red books. So I have the League series here, which is what these belong to, these big chunkers. So I've got like the traditional paperbacks of the first essentially 3 books and then of a short story. So if I just scooch that down. I think if we go Born of Vengeance, this is the latest or the most recent book that I have in that series. So Legend, what have I got here? Fury and Defiance. So it goes here, Defiance. This one is so thick, but Born of Fury is like one of my favorites out of all of them. I would recommend, if you do want to read those, reading them in order, because there's a lot going on in the backgrounds. That looks crazy. Do I put them upright? Oops, they're all falling over now. I do like having all my books. I'm sure I've said this many a time, but I do like having all my books just like this. But it is what it is. It's what I can fit. And then Nalini Sings, she's going to come down here so we can condense these all in. So these are the same author but different series essentially. Okay. And then Sing, we've got Sands. So she's going to go in here. So Legion or Heart first? I feel like Legion. Could be wrong. And yet I'm not, because I'm good. Alright. That's that side done. So I'm going to count these, and including the unread ones, and do a library tally. I'll get back to you. All right, so I just finished counting and I've wrote it down because my memory is terrible. So I have on the red side 116 books, and on my TBR side 153 unread books. So 269 books all up of physical copies. I think my Kindle has like over 300 books on it unread, but majority, if not nearly all of them, I got free on Stuffy Kindle days. And then the rest, I don't think I pay more than like $3 or $4 for a Kindle book. So I haven't spent a huge amount on my ebooks. When you tally it all up, I've definitely spent a fair amount on books, but considering majority of these are secondhand, and the most I tend to pay for a secondhand book is like $3. Sometimes there's a $4 one here and there, but mostly $1 to $2, $3 at the most. I've done pretty good because I think there's only about 4 books, maybe 5 books in here that's actually been bought new. And again, I buy clearance books, so again, $6 is probably the most I pay. And then yeah, enough to keep me going for a while anyway. So that's a lot of books, but it doesn't look like a lot in the scheme of things, but it's getting there eventually. And I did turn all the books around so they're just spine facing on this side, because ideally that is what I want when this is full, to all look like that. So yeah, I started doing that now that it's sort of fleshing out a little bit. The other side, it's getting there. I need to definitely start reading some more physical books rather than my ebooks or my library books. But anyway, that is it for this week's video. I'm sorry if you can hear the laundry going in the background, but I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for sticking around if you stuck around all the way to the end. Hopefully you're not too upset about the amount of book hauls I'm doing, but this is my current goal at the moment. So I will check in with you guys next time. Have a good day. Bye.